So I'm going to start my podcast. I'm going to be talking about what's been going on in my life and how things have been affecting me. But at the same time, I'm going to be talking about the Sophie Trudeau book that I have been reading. So please hit the subscribe button, notification button. This is my first time doing a podcast in a while, so just bear with me, okay? And I have my mic like this. I shouldn't have it like this, but I do. Hi everyone, welcome back to my podcast. This is Johanna. If you don't know me, I talk about the struggles with my life, everyday problems that I have in my life, things that have been going on with my life, things that have been, sorry, I gotta fix my camera. There we go. Things that have been really affecting my everyday life, and yeah, like let's get into it. I'm just trying to adjust my phone because I don't know where I should put my phone because, you know, I have so much, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. Let's just put it next to the camera and everything like that because it is. So I have had a lot going on in my life since the last time I actually did a podcast. My mom came down, I think it was the second week, like the week of July, on the week of the 20th. It was a really good visit. We had fun. We went for coffee. She helped me get a lot of things done, even a budget, which I haven't shown you guys online. She came down for a week to see all of us, like to come up to see me and everything like that. She bought me some plants. I got one plant right here, and then I got two plants in the living room, in the kitchen that she got me, and then I got these plants just recently. If you don't, go check out the reel and the short that I put on my YouTube channel, because that is where you'll see the unboxing of where these are from. They're from BC. I just became a plant lady. I am now looking after plants in my house. I'm about to have a new cat. He is so adorable, so when he comes I will introduce you, but if you want to see more of him, he is on my Instagram, and there's pictures of the little kitty cat. His name is Aspen. I still have Ty, I still have Goober, Fluffy, and Snow, and everything. So I still have them, thank God. So yeah, but there has been so much going on. Like on this episode, I want to talk about the Sophie Trudeau book that I have been reading. I am not done it yet. I'm taking my time on listening to it and everything like that. I've had this book now almost for, I think, 2 years. I think it's been 2 years since it's come out, or it's been a year. So I think it's almost been 2 years. Don't quote me on that. If you've read her book, you know who she is. She's a mental health advocate. I'm following her on Instagram and everything like that, and I like her. So yeah, like she talks a lot about the development of a child, of children. She talks about her own childhood and how she was an only child. I have siblings, so I don't know what that feels like. Like my niece is the only child of my sisters, and I really don't know what that feels like of being the only child, because I have two sisters and a brother, and I have a stepbrother. I have a half brother, and then I have a stepsister. So I always had siblings, and I have two kids of my own who are siblings. So yeah, like I don't really know what it's like being the only sibling. I had friends who were the only sibling, who were the only child, and I think it was very difficult for them because they didn't have anybody to play with, or they didn't have a sister they can confide in, or a brother they can play with or hang out with when they're not around their friends. So yeah, she talks a lot about that, how she she dreamt of having a little sister or one. Her father just recently passed away too, so I'm very sorry to hear that. But yeah, like I've highlighted a lot of major things in this book. She was in like 20 years ago, she was a host of a Quebec a newscomer in her field. So she she worked as she was a television host in Quebec on a show. I really don't know what the show was called. And then she had a lot of struggles with eating disorders. Like she had an eating disorder where she I don't know how to explain it because I've never went through that. I actually binge eat myself when I'm very stressed out, but that's just due to, like, I'm on medication to help me with my ADHD, so I haven't been binge eating a lot, but when I get really depressed, I binge eat. I just constantly eat. because it makes you feel better. It's like food is your comfort, and you're using it as a comfort, but you're using it as a, and if this is affecting everybody, I am so sorry. I'm not trying to trigger you or any of that, because I don't know what it's like to have an eating disorder where I don't want to eat all the time. I'm nitpicking at my body. I really don't know, but I don't I really don't like the way I look myself in clothes. Like right now I'm wearing a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, workout shorts, and I really don't like the way I look, but I don't tell a lot of people that. I am in therapy because of some things that have gone on recently in my life. I'm back in therapy, which I'm proud of. I had my first appointment on Friday this past week, and it went really good. I have another appointment at the end of this month, and just, you know, talking to somebody really helps. But she struggled with an eating disorder. It wasn't like she was very verbally vulnerable to talk about it. You know, she's very strong and very educated on what was going on and why she was you know, I don't really know how to explain it. It's very hard for me to explain it, but my sister Janine, who she used to have an eating disorder, but she doesn't now because she's overcome it. She used to not eat all of her food, and that's when it came into me where I started just overeating constantly and binge eating, because I felt like food was the thing that could comfort me, and food wasn't the thing that could comfort me. I had to oh man, I don't want to say anything offensive towards people who have an eating disorder, who's, you know, scared to eat and scared to gain the weight. Like I am losing the weight. I'm under 230 now. I'm officially under 230, and I'm keeping it that way. I'm in shock myself because I don't like being overweight. I don't like being the size I am, because it makes me feel very uncomfortable, because I feel like the clothes that I see everybody else dressing the way they want to dress, and it's like going, hey, I want to dress like that. I want to look good in clothes. I have a pair of a couple pairs of dress pants that I gotta wear if I get a job in the office, and I don't like the way they look on me, and I really don't. And if I could maybe go under, like my goal is to go to $199, and if I could get to $199, like I've been saying, I would love that. And then I would work on, you know, certain things, like just trying to be healthy and trying to eat the right things, but sometimes I don't follow those, and I have a habit of not able to I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's very hard, like, because when I get upset or I get mad, I want to eat junk food constantly. I just want to eat. And with an eating disorder where someone doesn't want to eat and only eats a little bit of food, not a lot of food, and I think that's how you can explain it. I'm sorry guys if I'm offending you. I really don't know, so I can't really tell you my opinion about it. But yeah, like she had an eating disorder growing up. She finally spoke about it like a long time ago, and she goes into great detail about it. And she actually collabs with a couple of doctors in this book, which is good. So she holding yourself accountable for the things that you do is even better. Like holding yourself accountable. But remember always, this is a quote that she put on here from Eleanor Roosevelt, who was one of the first ladies of the presidents in the United States. Remember always that you have not only the right to be an individual, but you have the opportunity to be one. You cannot make unusual contribution in life unless you do this. So yeah, like she talks about a lot of things in this book. There's a lot to go over, let's just say that. And I know that she wow, there's a lot. She quotes a lot of therapists, a lot of names in this book. In the first half of it, like I'm actually, I think I did part 1 already, where she talks about the I should have wrote this stuff down. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little about it, but I'm actually on the chapter called Growing Up. So I'm on that chapter now. I did part 1, which is the setting roots as a childhood attachment and where it all starts. So she talks about child development and how kids' brains work differently than an adult, and how we develop differently, and we're all different people. Trust me, we are. We're not all the same. We don't act the same. But in this one, in the childhood attachment and where it is, she goes, Genesis is no more Genesis is no more than a childhood reputation and will. Childhood equipped now with a man physically means to express yourself. So yeah, that's from Charles. I can't say the last name, by the way, guys. Sorry. So sorry. So yeah, like, if you see me going off like this, it's because I'm reading the book. Self-giving her all. Okay, so technically she talks about her dad in here. How her, yeah. Let's not go there. She was the wife of the Prime Minister who recently resigned back in January 6th on Justin Trudeau. She was the wife of Justin Trudeau. She's the ex-wife now. She was the previous wife. And she's actually doing good for herself now. But yeah, like, I got all this stuff. I'm going to go through all this stuff and talk about... she talks about trauma too. She talks about, I think, age trauma. There's so many different things about... even talks about bonds of attachment, how we make an attachment to our caregiver, like our moms and dads. When we're younger, we got such a good attachment, a good bond attachment with them, and growing up. That's what other things she talks about in this book, in the first chapter. I just want to get to the part where she... I know that I highlighted some things that were good. But yeah, like, I will write some of the stuff down and talk about it in my next podcast when I do it this Friday coming up. I'm so sorry. This is all over the place, but I will talk more about it. I do want to read the second chapter. I do want to get on that, so I'm going to get on that today. Probably do a reading long. That's what I did the last time for like 60 minutes. But yeah, like, I talked about a little bit about it, but I like the book. I recommend it. Go check it out. But yeah, like, let's get on the topics. So like I was saying, my mom came down for a week in July, and that visit went amazing. That visit went really good, and I enjoyed myself because, like, I barely get to see them as it is. I barely get up to see them. I barely even try, because I don't have a car, so I can't get up there. And I miss my family every single day, but I will never move back up to Stratford area because, like I've told you guys in the past, I've lived there my whole life, and I just don't want to go backwards in life by going back to Stratford, and my kids aren't going back. We have no plans of going back that way, just to visit, and that's it, and then come home. My son turned 18. He's upgrading his English today, this year, so he started school. Like, the kids are back to school and everything like that. I want to take up Pilates and yoga, so I have the mats and everything. I have an app called Better Me, which I'm gonna go by. I really want to start doing that stuff because, like I was saying, I myself have body issues. I don't like the way I look. I look at myself in the mirror and I see me losing the weight, but I don't, and I think to myself, why am I not losing it fast enough? Why don't I look like I'm losing weight? I went out with my sister yesterday to run some errands with her because she needed to run some errands, and I wore a pair of jeans and a bodysuit, and that's the first time I've ever worn a bodysuit in a long time. And I wore a pair of jeans because it was cold out. And I have difficulties. If I find that something is too tight on me, I just wear a pair of jogging pants. The one day I ripped my pair of blue jogging pants in the back, and it made me, I haven't fixed them yet because, like, it's really irritating that now I'm ripping my clothes because I've overworn them, but it's kind of did something like I really don't know how to explain it. Like, you rip a pair of jeans and they're too tight, and you sit down and rip a pair of jeans. It's embarrassing. But I actually ripped my back of my jogging pants that I very much like, and you know, it made me feel so, it made me laugh, but at the same time, I was a little bit of upset about it, because now I gotta fix those pants, and I paid so much money for them. I got them from Aritzia, and it was hard, because I don't really like the way I look, and I don't like the way I look in clothes. Like right here, yeah, I'm wearing a plain t-shirt, but I shouldn't be dressed like this when I do a podcast, but I don't want to dress up because I don't like the way I look in some clothes. And that is one of the things. It's called self-confidence. I'm very self-confident about my body. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the size of my body. I wish that I could be not so, like, I'm 226 pounds, and I haven't been that since I had kids, guys. Like, I mean, I haven't been that since I think I had my son, like, because I couldn't take the weight off even with my son. But I'm so happy I'm this way, because I know that my goal is to get down to 199 before 2026, and then I'm hoping that I can get the confidence up on working out. I don't have the confidence right now of working out and recording it or any of that stuff, because I don't like the way that I look on the camera. I don't like the way that I can I can look good. I don't like the way I'm getting gray hair and everything, so it's like I don't like the way I look, but I know that I have to accept me for who I am, and it's going to take me a very long time for me to accept the way I look because of that. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to accept it, because I don't feel like I look good in a pair of jeans. I don't think I look good in a swimsuit. I feel like I don't look good in anything, because just the way I am. I don't know how to explain it, because of the fact that a lot of people go through it, and it's just hard when you look at these girls. When you look at these girls on Instagram, nothing against them, you look at them on Instagram and you're going to yourself, oh, so I gotta wear short dresses, mini skirts, and things like that to make myself feel better. No, I don't have to dress like that. I really don't. I have no problem. If they like to dress like that, then that's their problem, not mine. But I just feel like if I'm going to dress the way I feel comfortable in, that's the way I'm going to dress. If I feel like I'm going to wear a pair of jogging pants out in the open, out public, I'm going to do that, because I feel comfortable with that. If I feel comfortable of wearing, let's say, a pair of t-shirts, like the shorts I'm wearing today, and the t-shirt that I'm wearing, I'm going to wear that because I feel comfortable wearing it. But if someone comes up to me and goes, why are you dressing like that? Why do you look like a slob every single day? I'll be like, well, you know what? I don't like the way I look in my clothes. I don't like the way I don't like how the clothes are making me look or how they're making me feel. I want to feel comfortable in my clothes. I want to be able to go out and feel comfortable, but I can't feel comfortable if I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's very hard. Like, if I don't feel comfortable in something, I'm not going to wear it. I'm going to go into the closet and grab something else. If I don't feel comfortable in that, I'm not going to wear it. I'm going to just, I have a lot of nice clothes. But sometimes I don't like the way they look on me. Like, now there's this app that I have on my phone. It's called Dressy, and it gives you outfits, ideals of outfits. And some of the outfits are really nice, and I can see myself wearing them. But I can't see myself wearing them out and about. I can't see myself trying to wear them to the point where I'll look good in them. I won't feel comfortable in them. Like, I want to get into the way of dressing is wearing a pair of jeans, a long jacket with a shirt underneath it, of course a shirt, and that. But sometimes I just don't feel comfortable wearing that kind of stuff, because I don't want people thinking, well, she looks like a slob. She looks like somebody, you can't take her anywhere in public. You can't go anywhere. And I have a sister who says that to me, but my sister, I dress up because my sister doesn't like me looking like a slob, so yeah. But she goes out looking like a normal person, but I don't. Sometimes I just want to wear a pair of jogging pants and a t-shirt out, but I don't with my sister because I don't want the comments. But she's a good sister. She tries to tell me how it is. So yeah. But I gotta say good things because she's subscribed to my channel, and that's the other thing. I went up to, like, I've gotten a lot of subscribers. I'm almost to 9,000 subscribers. I've gotten a lot of views on my channel, and that is the other thing. I'm very grateful for it. But back in the day when I first started my YouTube channel, I wasn't getting subscribers at all. Like, I couldn't advertise my channel. I tried to advertise it on Instagram. I tried to do this. I tried everything. And now that I'm advertising it on Google Ads, it's working. Like, people are subscribing to me. People are watching my videos. People are actually watching more of my trail videos than anything. And I'm like going, oh wow, I gotta get back into this trail thing that I'm doing, because I used to do a lot of trails back in 2022, and when COVID was going on, me and my sister were doing trails, and then I was recording them and everything. The first ever trail I did was in Kitchener, because my sister and I went there and she got us lost and everything. Like, I talked about it in my previous podcasts. It's kind of funny, and I did a video for it. Sorry if it's blurry, but yeah, like my trail videos, again, a lot of traction, and I'm so happy about it, because I'm from Canada, and Canada has a lot of beautiful trails. I haven't been on all of them. Sorry. I haven't been on all of them, but I've been on some of them. And the ones that I've been on are the ones that I have on my YouTube channel. Where I'm from, there's a trail called TJ Doyle's, and it's actually right next to the cemetery, and then there's the sewage plant there. And it took me 3 days. Like, I have 3 videos, 3 parts up there, because that trail is so big that we went back so many times just to get the trail. And there's so many different ways to that trail. I'm tired. But if you think about it, I had a blast doing those trails with my sister. Now I live up here in Ottawa, and there's a lot of trails around here, and I've been told that, and I want to do it. I do have a bus pass, so I can go uptown and do the trails around uptown where the Parliament is, which I might do for the fall, once the fall comes, because I've heard that the fall is very beautiful. So I'm going to probably take my big camera up, my phone up, and everything like that. And I have a little thing that I could put on my on my shirt that can record everything. So I'll probably take that with me and put that on the video and everything, and use that. I even have a small camera that I can use. So yeah, like, I'm impressed on how my trails are going. Like, because I used to take these walks, and it used to be nice. It used to be like, you know, you go on a trail and you go with your friends, and or you go with your family, and you go on a trail, and it'd be like, wow. I had so much fun doing those trails, and I want to keep doing trails. So yeah, like, I'm just sorry, I have to fix my shirt. So I have to I got to start the trails back up, and that's one thing I want to do. And that's the other thing that I'm going to do probably this year or next year, but maybe in the fall I might take a walk uptown. Because I've been I'm tired. I've been almost here for a year. November 15th is going to be a year for me here. How has it been for me living here in Ottawa? I love it here. I would never ever take it back from moving here. I am going to stay here forever, but it's not the province that I really want to be in. I want to move out to BC or Vancouver, places like that, because I've never been there. Montreal and Quebec is all French, so can't really live there because I don't know French. But I am going to be, hopefully in the next maybe 4 to 5 years, be out in BC living there. I'm hoping. I don't know yet. So yeah, like, because they have so much beautiful sceneries out there. They have bears, they have mooses, they have all of that. And it's like, I need to go out there. I need to take a drive out there. My brother's out there now, 3 years, but I need to take a vacation out there somehow, and I will. I've seen the pictures of Whistler, of Vancouver, of the beautiful sceneries that Vancouver has, the beautiful sceneries that Whistler has, all of it. I've seen it all. And I really want to go out that way, because, you know, people always say, travel your own country before you travel someone else's. And I've never been to, like, my family's from Ireland, so, and I've never been to Ireland. I've never been to England. I've never been all over Europe. I really haven't seen where my family's originally from. And I really want to go out that way, but I have to figure that all out and save the money for it. But that depends. If I can get the money together, that'd be nice. But will I ever move back? Will I ever move to Ireland? Will I ever move to another country? I don't know. When my kids get older, my kids are older now. My son is 18. He's going to be 19 next year, and my daughter's going to be 16. I don't know. Maybe it might come down to where I might move to Ireland, where my family's from, the Kellys are from, and the Moores are from, because my mom's Moore. My grandmother was a Moore. So yeah, so much stuff, and to see out there, it'd be beautiful to go to Ireland for a year and stay there for a year and live there, and then come home to Canada and live back in Canada and say, hey, I've done that, I've traveled to Ireland, I've traveled to here, but I have nothing to show for it because I've never traveled. I never gave myself that chance when I was younger. So yeah, I really think that if anything, I would love to go see the out east or out west and travel it, maybe do van life out there and just travel all over the place, because I've heard that the mountains are beautiful. I've never seen them before. But yeah, I'm living in Ottawa and I love it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if I end up, wherever I end up, and I'm going to be happy. If you hear anything in the background, it's my neighbors in the back. The other thing is that my daughter went up and saw my mom for a week. She went up at the same time my mom left. It was weird not having her here, but she loved it. She had enjoyed it. I trusted her to be up there by herself. I trusted her to be respectful, and she did a really good job being up there with my family. And I think my daughter, I think she's gone, she just started grade 10 this year. She's been going to school. She started last week, and she's starting to go to school every day. She gets up, she goes to school, she comes home, and she's actually loving this school year because she's in the classes she wants to be in. And she got the classes she wants. She's learning a new language called Spanish. She wants to learn Spanish. She's more out there. I'm hoping she gets involved in some of the programs at school, but we'll see what happens. There's this politic one she can get involved with. There's so many different programs that they offer up here than they did at Avon Maitland School Board when my kids went there. Sorry. So sorry about that. I have to close that. So yeah, so when you think about it, my kids have more opportunities up here in Ottawa, in this big town, capital town, where you should be if you want to get involved in those things. And so yeah, I think she's gonna do good this year. She's gonna get good grades. I don't care what kind of grades she gets. I'm proud of her anyways, and that's the thing. Being proud and being a proud mom is just one of the things that comes with it. And I'm very proud of my children. I'm very proud of how far they've come, especially my son. If you can hear him, he's upstairs. So yeah, I know this podcast is all over the place, but I have so much I want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it and so much things. I have made let's talk about finding a job, working on getting a job. So I have been trying to find a job for a while now in legal administration assistant. And Goober, I'm sorry, that's my cat. He's playing with the mat that everything's on, so I'm gonna have to fix that after I'm done. So Goober, stop. He is so cute. So I've been looking for a job. So I had an appointment with the unemployment center last month, and I have it again this month. At the end of this month, there's some programs I can do. I found out that I do not have any hard skills on my resume or my cover letter, and that could be the reason why I'm not getting calls, and could be the reason why nobody's calling me, is because of that. So what I had to do is I had to look up, okay, what kind of hard skills did a legal administration assistant needs? Okay, because I'm new to this. sorry about that. I had to fix my camera because it had too much room on it. So now I got 21 minutes left. So yeah, like it's gonna be okay. I might have to delete some of the pictures that I have on there, but I have them on my computer as it is. So I don't remember where I was. I don't remember what I was talking about. Sorry, guys. Oh. Holy crap. I might have to go back on this. Okay, so anyhow, and I have 30 minutes into the video. I'm sorry for laughing. I gotta laugh. So like I was saying, my daughter went down to my mom's. I think I was already talked about that, and she had a good time. I trusted her. She went down. She listened. She did what she was supposed to do. She listened to everybody, and she had a fun time. I enjoyed myself without her here, but I had some mental health breakdowns, and now I'm in therapy. But like I was talking about the trails that I did, and I want to do them again. I want to do more trails around here, but I just got to figure it out. And then I was talking about I wanted to move out west or east, or I think out east or something. The other thing is that, oh yeah, I was talking about jobs. That's what I was talking about, guys. I was talking about trying to look for a job. So I found out that I found out that there was no hard skills on my resume, on my cover letter. And so I had to look up, like I was saying, I had to look up on what a legal administration assistant does. Okay, and I had to make sure that I knew what they do and everything like that. And I had to I looked it all up, and then I put it on my resume, and then I sent my resume off to the unemployment center, and I'm just waiting to hear back from her, see if she could fix it and tweak it a little, because I had to put it under my skills. And when you put something underneath your skills, you have to have soft skills, you have to have hard skills. So soft skills for Microsoft Words or Microsoft Excel or accounting or any of that. So I just put down the stuff that I had to do in class, the projects I had to do, the things like documentations, writing correspondence letters, figuring out how to use Microsoft Words when it comes to a headline and things like that. If that does work and I get a job interview and they go, well, do you have any experience in legal? And I'd be like, no, I do not, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to, if you could teach me. I've had jobs where, like I was saying, like where I wasn't trained right and I would be in trouble and then I would lose my job. And then, you know, I've had that done to me where I had a friend who got me a job and then she got me fired to give my job to my cousin. And yeah, like who does that to somebody, right? But, you know, I will never take a job from a friend ever again, and that's all to it. So when you think about the hard skills that you have to have as a legal administration assistant, it's even like with any other job, you have to have hard skills now. You got to have soft skills. You got to have all of these skills to be able to put in your resume. And that is one of the things that I did not know you needed. And when I went through school at CDI College, and I'm telling you now, I will not recommend CDI because I found out, like I was telling you, they don't do a 2-week, I think it's a week, you go out to the force and everything. So I now have to apply for college to do legal clerk, which I'm going to be doing this year. But I think I just have to upgrade. I think the one thing that I need to think about is how I'm going to do it and when am I going to do it. I'll sign up for college. I think I'm going to do it at the end of this month because I get the extra money at the end of this month. But I think a lot of things that people have to understand is that when you're making a resume, you should actually get help with it. There's so many plats out there, some things that you can use to be able to do all that. Like there's so many things out there that you can use to make a resume, and there's so many programs out there. If you don't have an unemployment near you, I recommend calling one up and seeing if they can help you, because they have group appointments you could do. You could do a resume clinic where it teaches you how to make resumes. I didn't go to that, by the way. It was at 9 o'clock in the morning. I might do that still because of my resume. I'm not too sure. So, and then they have Resumes That Rock. They talk to you about it. You could do it online, you could do it in person, whatever you can do. And they got it through Monday to Friday, and all you do is you sign up. I have an appointment on September 30th. Time frame length 2 weeks and 45 minutes. So I have an appointment at 3:30 with the one person I have. So I sent my resume off to her. I think it was yesterday or the day before I did that, because like I need a job. I don't care what kind of, I'm now thinking to myself, I shouldn't care on what kind of job it is. I shouldn't care what kind of job it is. I should just get a job so I have extra money coming in, and then I can start looking for a job in office mid or going to school for legal clerk and doing legal clerk. I am not good at accounting. I'm not good at math, so I can't really talk about math, because like I've never been good at math, and that's one of my flaws. I'm not good at English, but I'm going to try my best. You know, that's all you can do. But yeah, like I'm trying to find a job right now, and it's hard. Trying to find a job is very hard here in Canada, because we don't have a lot of jobs. Not a lot of people are hiring. Not a lot of people are calling for interviews. Like my son has handed out maybe about 20 resumes, I want to say. So I have him going to I'm going to get him to go to the employment center to help them with his resume and him doing all these programs when he's not in school. But he starts college in January, so we'll see what happens between then, because he's going for Police Foundation, which is nice. He did try to join the military, which he might still do after the 2 years or 4 years being in college. I don't know how many years in that. We'll have to see what happens. So the other thing is that just trying to get out there and doing something is the one thing that I'm trying to do. Getting up and getting the courage. I used to take walks at night with my daughter, and I don't do that anymore. And I can tell you one thing, I don't do that anymore. I don't go for walks with my daughter anymore. I don't go anywhere anymore. I just stay home and be lazy. And that's wrong on my part, because that really takes a toll on your mental health. It really takes a toll on who I am as a, like, because I'm used to being active, like, and that, and I'm not active at all. So I want to get back to being active, but at the same time, I want to get into Pilates and yoga. And I don't want to go to like I've been saying, I do not want to go to a studio right now, because of the fact that just going to the studio is not the answer for me right now, because like I don't know anybody. I do not understand, like I don't know anybody in Ottawa to go with, and I'm the type of person that just will not go anywhere. I would just tell you the truth, I'll just stay home. If I don't know somebody, then how am I supposed to make an effort? You know what I mean? So just getting out there is going to be the major thing, and just getting up to meet people and getting the courage to do it. I should have had friends while I'm living here. You know, when the first maybe couple months I did meet somebody, my next door neighbor. I got to know her, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. I'm yawning. And I shouldn't be. But it is like 5:43. So yeah. But I think the one thing that I can take by living here is that it's interesting living in a big city with it's majorly for the politicians. You know, these are where the politicians, and I have not ran into any of the politicians, by the way, not any of them, which is a good thing, because I don't know what I would say to them, my opinion. So I'm gonna keep it there, because like my video will not go anywhere if I talk about politics on this. So, but I am just very baffled. I'm not impressed with myself, because I haven't gone out to meet anybody. I'm a very shy person. You know, I do say hi to my neighbors sometimes. I do say, hey, how you doing? You know, all that. But I don't actually talk to them. I don't actually go up to them and have a conversation with them, because I don't know how to. I don't know why I can't. I want to, but I just don't have the courage to do it. But trying my best just to be able to, maybe if I start doing that, I would be fine. But I just don't know anybody. Like, I took the bus in September and August, right? Got my bus passes in July, took the bus in August, and I was going places. I went to the library and got books. Like, I was doing all that in August, and I was, you know, I had appointments, and I was learning how to take the buses and everything like that, and I taught my daughter how to do it. And then I screwed up on my budget at the beginning of this month, and I wasn't able to pay for anything, at the beginning of this month. So yeah, like I gotta get that straightened out. But getting a job will be, you know what, getting a job would be fun. And the most amazing part about it would be extra money coming in, paying the bills, making sure there's food on the table, making sure there's groceries. Like I always make sure there's groceries. I do a budget a month. I put $600 down for groceries because through the month I do buy groceries. Because if I have to go to my mom for money, I go to my mom for money. But like I just, like, you know what I mean? Like that is the struggles these days with me. Like just trying to keep money in the house, trying to not overspend. I did buy some plants at the beginning of this month, got them in. I bought something from Temu, you know. I even, you know, did some other things, and trying to keep on a budget, it's very hard, you know what I mean? But when you don't have, oh God, what is going on with me? Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to end this soon because like I'm tired. But yeah, like just trying my best to be able to do all that and being able to function every day will be nice. But, you know, being very disappointed in myself because I didn't follow the budget right, or I didn't follow this right, or I didn't follow that right. It pretty much sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I know I got to, because if I don't, then my month will be destroyed. I will be out of money constantly, and I'll be panicking about my cell phone bill and everything. Because the beginning of August, I actually paid my bill off from the previous month. Then I just didn't do it in the beginning of September, so I owe like so much money on that. And I'm very lucky that they haven't disconnected yet, but they will disconnect one of these days, and they will not let me put an extension on it. So I gotta get it under control. But I lost the child tax for my son, and I you know, I wasn't thinking. I was like, oh well, okay, well this month I start getting, you know, only the child tax for my daughter. So it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird for a couple months, you know what I mean? Like just trying to get there, and him needing to get a job and getting his life together because he's an adult. I don't have any money coming in for him. He's a full-grown adult, and he has to take care of himself. So yeah, like that's a major struggle. Is there's changes happening in my life that I can't handle, and I'm going through a lot. And I know a lot of people are going through a lot. It's just not me. When you have a child growing up, and you have a child who's becoming that age, and you don't know how to deal with it and everything like that. So that's typical. But like my daughter's turning 16 next year, and it's like going, can these kids stop growing so fast? And then they'll start having responsibilities like paying credit cards, paying debt, you know, all that stuff. And I think that, you know, just trying to get that stuff, you know, for them, like getting them the responsibilities, getting them taken care of and everything like that is going to be the biggest thing for me. Just trying to get my son settled so he'll be okay for life. The other thing is that I am getting help for what I did. It's very hard for me to admit it because I have been through a lot in the last 18 years, and the last couple months of just, you know, almost a year of moving away from my parents, and so many changes have come down. Recently it's suicidal month. I'm okay now. I'm on meds, but I have had thoughts of, you know, if this triggers you, I'm sorry, so don't watch it. I've had thoughts of, you know, trying to commit suicide, and because like it's hard trying to accept the changes that are coming down in your life. Like your kids are growing up, you're going to be losing the income you had, you know, or the fact that you live 8 hours away from your family, or the fact that, you know, your kid's about to go to college, your other kids in high school, it's going to be in grade 10, they're no longer the baby, or the fact that you feel like you've done enough, and you feel like nobody wants you around. You know, in July, I think it was August or July when my daughter went down, I had a lot of thoughts going through my head because my brother and I haven't talked in 10 years. And there's some changes that have gone on in my mom's house that could have been changed while I was living there. And it's just kind of weird that all these changes that they're making at the house, and all these changes that have been going on, I have to be gone for them to make them when they could have done them when I was living there. And it's FOMO, I'm missing out on it, you know. And it really upsets me, the fact that these changes are happening, but I have to accept it, and I have. But the other thing is that when you go through something like, you know, your brother, no family members talking to you and they're mad at you or they're angry at you, and they're like, maybe if I'm gone, they will talk to my family. Like, I feel like that with my brother. I feel like if I'm gone, then my brother will start coming around and seeing my mom, because he's mad at me, or he's angry with me, or he doesn't like me. You know what I mean? Like, it's very hard for me to admit this, because I don't really talk about my mental, like my severe mental health, because I don't want people condemning me for it or criticizing me for it, because having thoughts like that, it's hard. But not reacting to it and not doing it. There's times when I have thought about doing it and saying, get it done over with, people will be happy. The same thing with my kids, you know, maybe they will be happy if I'm gone. Maybe they might be happy if I'm not around, you know what I mean? And that is why I'm in therapy. And I have found, I have struggles just like everybody else does. So I found cheap therapy online. It's called Ally, and this is not sponsored or anything like that. I recommend it. You can find it on Instagram. They have, if you're Canadian and you can't afford therapy, they're all around. It's all around Canada, and it is first session is free, which is nice. And I did a session with somebody past week, and we made another appointment for the 30th, and for 4:00, and I'm now talking to somebody because I can talk about it. And I've told her that I'm okay, but I told her what I do is I'm trying to find a job, and it's frustrating. That's the other thing that was going through my mind. Like, I can't find a job, I can't get extra money coming in. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm about to lose, you know, so many things were going through my head, and it was just like, so yeah, like the one thing I do now is I write down my thoughts now, and you know, and it's hard, but you know, you're not alone. Not everyone is alone. You're not alone, because a lot of people go through it. A lot of people go through those thoughts, and a lot of people think those thoughts, and some people actually act on it. And I just want to tell you guys is that you're not alone. We're all going through something. We're all, you know, call your family up, call your mom up, because I called my mom up and I told her that something was wrong, and she told me you need to get help, and that I can go to her anytime I want. And the sad part is that I don't feel like I can go to her about things like this, because it's just things that have been going on in my head. There's thoughts in my head, and sorry, I'm gonna cry. Yeah. There's thoughts in my head, and sometimes I feel like that maybe people will be a lot more happier if I'm not around anymore, if I'm not here anymore, and they'll be a lot more happier, and things will be different for them. But I need to accept on what's going on, and I need to accept who I am, and it's a lot, and I'm trying my best to get the help I need. But just speaking about it on my podcast is something that I need to do, because I have you guys I could talk to, or talk about what's going on in my life. And when I was 18, I did try to commit suicide, and because of my life, I didn't want to live anymore, because I didn't feel like nobody wanted me around at that time, because I was 18, I was reckless, I was stupid, I was being an 18-year-old, right? And I just feel like if I'm just going to do it, I should just do it. And I was really into the bar scene back in the day and everything like that, and I got hurt by a guy. You know, that's the other thing that's bugging me, is that every time I get into a relationship with somebody, I get hurt, and it's irritating. But I am just so flipping frustrated with the world today, and with life, and with everything around, and I just did not. But when I was 18, I got the help I needed, and now I'm getting help again, because you go through those things. You go through a lot in life when things are changing on you, and you can't accept some of the changes. So yeah, like, it's very hard, but you'll get through it, you know. But anyhow, it's almost 50 minutes with this podcast, and I'm going to lose my phone soon. So, and my camera soon, because I only have like maybe 21 minutes left on it. But I just wanted to tell you guys that yes, I did have those thoughts, but I never acted on it. But I will keep talking to you guys about it, and being able just to speak about it and everything like that is a major thing for me. But before my camera goes off on me, please, thank you. If you're having those thoughts, I know it's Suicide Month and everybody goes through a lot. Please speak to somebody. Please talk to somebody, and don't let anybody tell you that they'll be better off if you're gone or if you're not here around or anymore. Everybody needs you, and I know that everybody needs me, and I need to realize that. But anyhow, thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. I'm going to be posting this tonight. Hopefully it goes up tonight. I don't know yet. But anyhow, thank you for watching, and please hit that subscribe button, notification button. Go check out the video. If you guys haven't checked out my videos, please go check them out. And oh man, like so many things to talk about, but I might just leave it for the next podcast episode. And yeah, like trying to look for my mouse. I'm trying my best just to be able to, being able to talk about it, and being able to say I'm okay, But if I keep talking about it, I'm never going to shut up about it. And I know a lot of people, can't get the help they need, and because therapy is so expensive. Check out Allie. I'll link it all down below. If I remember to do it, I'll link it. It's a cheap therapy for Canadians. It's a cheap therapy for a lot of people. I'm only going to be paying $69 for 55 minutes. Oh, it looks like I can go farther. So yeah. But I don't know, I just wanted to talk about it, and being able to talk about it is one of the things that I've always wanted, just talking about my feelings and talking about what I can do, you know what I mean? That is one of the things that I want to do, but I can't, I just can't see myself, I don't know if I could see myself ever trying to, I know that therapy is the one thing I have to do, because I know it's in the best interest of me and my kids getting the help that I need. But I know that it's hard to admit that you have a problem, because it's hard for me to admit it too. But the struggles with life, my podcast is about that, with having the struggles of all of it, talking about it, reading a mental health advocate book like this, is a major one. And I recommend Sophie Trudeau, Closer Together. Go check it out. And there's a lot of mental health books out there that will help. I have one on one thing called Healing from Self-Harm. Getting away from, that's the other thing. I was in an abusive relationship for 4.5 years, and it did a number on me. And it did such a number that I really haven't been able to move on from it. And it still scares me that he's going to find me, and that he's going to locate me, and something could happen. Because when you leave a man who is a narcissistic, or any partner, it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female, and if this is triggering, I'm sorry, but even if it's a female or a male, and they abused you in your relationship, and they're nasty towards you, and they treated you like you're a nobody, and they broke your things, and they smashed, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, and I've seen a lot of Instagram posts about that stuff, and I've seen what people have gone through, and it's it's not a trigger, but I can actually relate to it. And the advice that I have to give to people who are in relationships like that: leave, because sometimes the outcome is not good. Okay, sometimes it's not, and sometimes it is. I'm very lucky to be one of those people who got away from someone like that and moved away from that kind of person, but that person kept dragging me in and dragging me back all the time. And he was a narcissist. He dragged his mom back in all the time, and he's going to drag his mom back in again, because that's his mom. But at the same time, she deserves a normal life too. So when you think about it, you know, you'll do anything for your kids. You'll do anything for them to be happy. You'll do anything for them. I'll do anything for my son. I'll do anything for my daughter. But I will not ever hide anything for them. I will never, ever lie to somebody for them. I will never, you know, at all. Because that's just who I am. And if you got in trouble with the law, I expected them to, you know, you got to take responsibility for your actions, and you got to take responsibility big time. So yeah, like, being in, like, that's even the other thing that's triggered my mental health issues and those suicide thoughts, is because of that. Because I felt like if he comes back into my life, I'll let him back in. And I don't want to let him back in. And I don't want nothing to do with him. But at the same time, if I was to say get into another relationship with somebody else, maybe, you know, like if I get into another relationship, maybe that might help me move on. But I don't know if I want to be in another relationship because of that. And then I have my ex who always wants to get back together when he's having a midlife crisis. And it's like, I've told him so many times, I don't want to get back together. And that is all to it. You need to stop. And I've told him that. I go, I'm not interested in a relationship right now with everything that I have been through. I want to be left alone, and that is all to it. And if you're not going to leave me alone, then we got a problem here. And that's all to it. Like, I don't want to get back together, and that's all to it. But if I have to why should I have to get into another relationship to be able to move on from the previous person I was with? Why should I have to do all that? I shouldn't have to get into another relationship to move on from my ex. I should be able to move on from my ex normally. And if this is a trigger for anybody who has issues getting over their ex because they love their ex, just remember one thing: it's for the best. You know it is. It might be hard at first, but you know that it's for the best. And that is the one thing that, you know, being in a narcissistic relationship or any kind of relationship, it's very hard to move on from that person because we have a very hard time letting go. And I have an issue letting go all the time. I'm a pro at it. I can't let go of somebody because of that. I can't let go of somebody because I love them. I fall in love with them so bad, to the point where I just go crazy. I just go like, okay, well, I want to be with this person, and I can't be with this person because he's not good for me, or any of that. And you got to think, okay, we're toxic together. We are always fighting. We are always at each other. We're always bickering. We're always doing this and that. You got to go over the pros and cons of why you're with that person, and why should you be with that person. And that is the major thing. What's the pros? Okay, he's there for you, or she's there for you, or, you know, whatever partner you have, female or male, or female, or male, or transgender, you know. Are they too toxic, or are they this or that, and that, or are we even good together, or should we be together, you know? That's the conversation you need to have with yourself and write down, and then figure out how you're going to get out of it. Because if there's kids involved, guys, like, I have 2 kids, and my daughter witnessed a lot with my ex, and I regret it every single day. And I can go on and on and on about it. But I feel bad as a mom because I put my daughter in that situation, and I should not have. And I did, and I've talked about this on my previous podcast episode. I need to let it go and move on from it, but at the same time, I have those feelings. What if someone came along and, you know? But yeah, like, so much stuff can go through my mind in one day, and I can talk to you about it, but it would be up to me if I want to talk to anybody about it. I am so impressed with this camera because this SD card is going longer than I thought it would. I guess I deleted a lot of videos on my SD card, so I guess I get to go on until... But just remember to hit that subscribe button, notification button, and when this goes off, I'm done. But like I was saying, I think that a lot of people who get into relationships to the point where they love somebody and they care about somebody and they want to be with that person, they're going to do anything they can to be with that person. And I did that. I put everybody on the back burner, and I put him first. And I should not have, and I did, and I'm in the wrong for that. But yeah, like, don't ever put your family on, because your